Okay, so in today's video we're going to take a look at some phrasal verbs and some idioms at C2 level. These exercises are taken from the Objective Proficiency, the workbook. And we're still on the first topic here. So all of this vocabulary will be related to other videos I've made recently from the student's book, etc. And you can find that all on a playlist, which I'll leave here in the top corner. I'll leave a little tag. Anyway, let's just get straight into it. 3-word phrasal verbs. These are pretty complicated to get right, really. I mean, it's kind of, you know them or you don't. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's get straight into it. It says, replace the verbs in italics. Make this a bit bigger. Replace the verbs in italics in sentences A to M with an appropriate 2 or 3-part phrasal verb made by combining verbs and prepositions in the table below. So you can see you've got this table here. I'm going to leave that on the screen somewhere, and I'm just going to have a look at these sentences. How can I make phrasal verbs from these sentences? Okay, so in sentence A, she came out of the shop to find that thieves had stolen her bicycle. So this would be something perhaps of an antiquated term, but not too much. It's certainly something you hear every now and again still. To steal something, it's a 3-part phrasal verb, and it's to make off with. So in this case, it would be had made off with her bicycle. Not something I say very often, but definitely something I would have heard my parents, grandparents' generation say quite a lot, and something you would still hear sort of in television series and things like that. So worth knowing, I suppose. Okay, the chaos in the house was starting to depress him. Yes, I know the feeling. It was starting to depress him. This one I feel is kind of logical. It's another 3-part phrasal verb. And when something depresses you, well, how do you feel when you're depressed? You feel down. So the chaos was starting to get him down. So we would, instead of saying depress him, we would say get him down. Right? Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at C. I feel like I'm getting nowhere with my online campaign. I keep encountering a wall of hostility. Right? So to encounter something. To encounter something particularly that obstructs you in some way, that stops you doing what you want to. Again, it's a 3-part phrasal verb. And I think what we would say here is, I keep coming up against a wall of hostility. To come up against something is like an obstacle, like a wall, no? Figurative wall in this sense, but you can come up against something, you encounter something, and it's something that's in your way. It hinders you. It stops you from doing what you intended to. Yeah. All right. D. In D, it says, "Boy, I will be glad to finish these exams. I will be glad to finish these exams." Okay, so again, I think this could be 2 or 3. Well, I'll tell you what I would say here. I would say, boy, I will be glad to get these exams over with. Now, that's a really complicated one, but it is a fairly common expression, a fairly common phrasal verb. To get something over with means to finish it, right? So, I will be glad to get these exams over with. Yeah. Okay. E. E says, I typed in swimming technique on a search engine and literally thousands of websites appeared. Literally thousands of websites appeared. So, appeared. I think the only thing I can think of here, came up. Yeah. To come up is to appear, to emerge. No, I suppose if you think of something coming up out of the water, it has some kind of... I think it's understandable why we might say come up now, to emerge, to appear. Yeah. Literally thousands of websites came up. Yeah, no doubt about that one. Okay, let's move on. F. It says he has to submit the application form by Friday. So to submit something, you might have heard this. I think, you know, if you're in a class and you have to give in homework, so we say give in, we say hand in. I don't think there are options here, so we would have to say get in. No, so he has to get the application form in by Friday, I think is what we would say. He has to get the application form in by Friday. Yeah, definitely. Application form, that's always a thing that, well, I find it doesn't have a very literal translation in Spanish, or certainly, you know, people don't really talk about forms that you fill in to apply for a job. But it's very typical in England, at least. If you go, for example, to a bar or a shop and you say, is there any work going? Normally the manager or the person there will sort of hand you an application form and say, fill that in, and I'll hand it to the manager or to my boss or whatever. So, yeah. Okay, G. News of someone's pregnancy soon spreads. Right, yeah. If something spreads like it expands out over a space, no. Yeah, we say it gets around. It gets around. It gets around to everyone. No, it gets passed around. Yeah, so it soon gets around. Yeah. Okay, H. You'll find my enthusiasm more than offsets my lack of experience. So offsets means that it kind of outweighs it, no? So it compensates for my lack of experience, I suppose is a way of saying it. And another way of saying compensate for something is to make up for something. So you will find my enthusiasm more than makes up for my lack of experience. Yeah. I don't think there's any doubts there. Okay. How successful were you in conveying the message, do you think? How successful were you in conveying the message, do you think? So conveying is the word we want to change. Right, and this is one that comes up quite a lot. So if you want to convey a message, if you want to make something understood, transmit something, I suppose, you can say, how successful were they in getting the message across, do you think? So you get a message across, you get some information across to people, you make them understand it with your explanation, right? Little bit like what I'm doing now. Am I getting across the meaning of these phrasal verbs to you? Am I getting the meaning of these phrasal verbs across to you? It can be divided or not, that phrasal verb, I think. Okay, J. The hospital is conducting tests to find out what is wrong with her. It's conducting tests to find out what is wrong with her. Conducting tests. Right, yeah, this is a fairly common one that comes up quite a lot when we talk about experiments, when we talk about research, in this case tests. The hospital is carrying out tests. I'm pretty sure you could say carrying tests out. No, that would be different. No, the hospital is carrying out tests. Yeah, carrying out tests to find out what is wrong with her. Okay, K, could you dispatch the parcel this morning, please? Dispatch it, to send it, right? To send it out, I suppose. Yeah, this one's kind of difficult. I guess if you think about how you might unload something off a vehicle, off a van, then you could think about getting something off. And we say it in a very figurative sense, which is to send something away. We say, could you get the parcel off this morning? Could you get the parcel off this morning, please? Dispatch it, send it, get it away? No? Okay, L. The football manager tried an elaborate new tactic, but it didn't work. Okay. Particularly when you try something, there's an attempt. And if it's successful, we say you managed to pull it off. In this case, it didn't quite work. They didn't pull it off would be another expression, I suppose. But it didn't, we need something intransitive, no? So it didn't come off. It didn't come off, right? It didn't work the way you expected it to. It didn't happen. Okay, M. Look, I really can't come. Sorry, something important has arisen. And again, I think this is the same idea as emerging. So I think we're going to use the same phrasal verb twice, to arise, to come up. Something important has come up. Right, so I think that's enough then. We're going to have a look at some idioms here. And this is a kind of interesting exercise as well, I've got to say, because what we're going to see is a series of sentences, 3 sentences using the same idiom, and we have to say which one is incorrect. In each series of 3 sentences, there could be 1 or 2 that are incorrect, right? So kind of complicated. I guess let's just get straight into it then. Okay. A. Sorry, I've lost track of what we are supposed to be doing. I've lost track of what we're supposed to be doing. So I've sort of lost sight. I was focused on what we were supposed to be doing, but I seem to have lost track. I seem to have lost my way a bit. Yeah, that one's definitely fine. Okay, the second sentence in A says, sorry, I've lost track of you since we were at school together. No, lost track of you? That sounds like I was following you. And I wasn't following you. I'm not stalking anyone. Yeah, I've lost track of you since we were at school together. I think I've lost touch with you. I've lost touch. I've lost contact with you. No, but no. Sorry, I've lost track of that new coat you gave me. I've lost track of it again. Where was the coat going? Were you following it? Just as in the first sentence in A, we're kind of following the train of thought figuratively and we lose track of it. But yeah, it doesn't really work in that third sentence either. So I'd say really only the first sentence there makes sense. The other two, possibly in very sort of far-fetched circumstances, you could say them. I've lost track of you if I was following you. I've lost track of your new coat if I was supposed to be tracking your new coat somehow. Doesn't really make sense. Only the first one there, I would say. Okay, let's have a look at B then. It never crossed my mind that I'd agreed to sign the document. So the problem here is grammatically there's no problem. It just doesn't. Don't think that makes much sense, does it? It never crossed my mind. It never occurred to me that I had agreed to sign the document. And it is I had. It can't be I would, because it says agreed. It says in the participle form afterwards. So, well, that doesn't make any sense. No, how could it? You know if you signed something or not, no? Surely? No, I don't think that first sentence makes any sense. It never crossed my mind to ask for a refund. That seems to make sense. Yeah, it never occurred to me. I never thought of asking for a refund. That could have worked, you know. I went back to complain about the product, but I never thought, you know, yeah, I could just ask for my money back. It never crossed my mind. Yeah, that second sentence makes total sense, yeah. Okay, and the third one. It never crossed my mind that he would actually carry out his threat. Yeah, I never thought that would happen. I never thought he would, you know, he was threatening all the time. I thought these were empty threats. I didn't think he would ever carry them out. It never crossed my mind that he would actually, yeah, that makes total sense, yeah. Okay, let's move on. C. It says, look on the bright side. You could be back home bored out of your wits. So somebody's complaining about having to do something, I suppose, and then somebody says, well, you know, cheer up, it's not all bad. Look on the bright side, the good side of things. It's better than being at home, bored out of your wits, you know, bored stiff. Yeah. Okay, second one in C. Look on the bright side, you might still be able to get hold of tickets online. Yeah, again, somebody hasn't got any tickets because they arrived late at the, I don't know, maybe at the box office where they went to buy them. And someone says, well, don't worry, you know, there's still the possibility, be optimistic, look on the bright side, you might still be able to get some online. Okay, look on the bright side. You would be very unhappy if this happened to you. Again, possibly. I don't know how that's a good thing, though. Look on the bright side. You would be very unhappy if this happened to you. Yeah, unless you're some kind of Machiavellian sociopath, it's never going to be a good thing that somebody would be very unhappy in the situation of somebody else. I don't see really how that one works. No, not if you've got a normal brain. Okay, D. Being a ski rep in Austria is a far cry from my old job in the factory back home. A far cry, to be a far cry from something is to be a long way away from something. Figuratively speaking, yeah. Working as a ski rep in Austria is very different to working in a factory in England, I suppose, in England. Yeah, so that one makes sense. No problem with that. The second sentence in D then, it says, the calling sound the bird makes is a far cry from trying to attract its mate. It's figuratively a long way away from trying to attract its mate. No, I don't think that makes any sense. No. It's the way of trying to attract its mate, no? You'd think the calling sound the bird makes is a way of... Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. What we are witnessing here is a far cry from a desperate man who's lost his way. No, again, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, as I say, if something is a far cry from something else, it means it's, figuratively speaking, very, very far away from something else, as in very different. No, completely different. So yeah, I'd say only the first sentence makes sense there. Okay, E. Let's have a look at E. I'll keep you posted if you would be so kind. No, No, I'll keep you posted means I'll keep you informed. No, I'll keep you up to date with what's going on. If you would be so kind. That's like I'm asking you. I could say keep me posted. I'd like you to keep me posted if you would be so kind. That would make sense, but no, that first sentence doesn't make any sense to me. I'll keep you posted if what you are claiming is true. I don't think that makes any sense. I'll keep you posted if what you're claiming is true. If what you're saying is true, I'll keep you informed. Doesn't make much sense, no. Okay, the third sentence. I'll keep you posted if there are any further developments. Yeah, I'll inform you if anything else changes. No? Yeah, I'll keep you posted if there are any further developments. That one makes sense. Okay, the last one and the last thing I'm going to look at in today's class then. The manager, F. Look, just to set the record straight, I'm afraid we can't accept your application. To set the record straight is when there are rumours or something like that and you want everyone to know the truth, the way you see it, and you're trying to make it sound objective. You're like, right, the record, I'm going to set the record straight. This is what happened. I'm going to tell you my truth. That doesn't make much sense. To set the record straight, I'm afraid we can't accept your application. It just doesn't make any sense. No, it's like you're saying, I'm afraid. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to inform you. I regret to inform you. No. Davidson needs just one more win to set the record straight. To set the record, yeah. To set the record for number of wins, definitely. But to set the record straight, no. So hopefully this last sentence will set the record straight. The manager assumed that Agnes and Derek were married, but she soon set the record straight. Right, so he assumed that. He had that presumption. No, because, I don't know. He assumed they were married for some reason. And she said, no, you're completely wrong. I think you've made a mistake. We're not married at all. And so she set the record straight, right? She made him understand the truth. Yeah. Anyway, C2 phrasal verbs and idioms there today. Some of them are quite interesting. Let me know if you have any other thoughts on any of the exercises that we did today in the comment section. And that's everything for today. And a quick reminder that if you want some more personalised content from this channel, then there is a membership button under the video, the blue button. Click it, have a look at the options. You know, it's not going to take any money off you if you just click the button. So click it, have a look at the options, look at how I can make personalised videos for you. It's a cheaper option than classes, I think. And, well, I'll see you in the next video.